I come from a land, from a faraway place, where the caravan camels roam. Where the sweat is immense and the heat is intense. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home. When the wind's from the east and the sun's from the west and the sand and the glass is right, come on down, stop on by, hop a carpet and fly to another Arabian night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Symmetria Season 7. Hey guys, this is Backdraft and welcome to Symmetria Season 7, episode number 1. That is right, ladies and gents. I have joined the Symmetria SMP, which is presented to you by none other than the very awesome FalseSymmetry of the Hermitcraft server. This is her Patreon server, which I plan on playing on for about the next, I hope, year. But anyway, right now, there's about 45 people on this server. I think there's actually a couple hundred signed up to play on this server. Right now, we are just chilling in my designated little plot in Spawn Town. There's tons and tons and tons of these 2x2 chunk little plots throughout what she's calling Spawn Town, which is right in the middle of the center of this world. So the world is about, the world border I think is about 15,000 by 15,000. Yeah, there's plenty of space for everybody on this server to do all kinds of awesome builds, and I have really big plans for this series. And if you guys haven't been able to tell, that silly little intro that I recorded, I have a theme for this series, and the theme is, I guess you want to call it Arabian Nights. So we are going to be building everything themed to look like it belongs like somewhere out in the desert, like desert palaces and all kinds of cool little buildings and stuff. And I know we're not in a desert right now, but like I said, this is Spawn Town. So in Spawn Town, I believe, what's this biome? It is a plains. But I actually have some land that I was able to claim when the server launched yesterday, way off, I believe that way, if I'm looking in the right direction. But anyway, we've got ourselves posted up in our little plot here, and you can see the border of it right here by this, I believe, it's, what is that, purple terracotta? So each of these plots here is 2 chunks by 2 chunks. Like I said, I got a couple neighbors going on. Everybody just kind of puts their names on the plots. And this polished andesite actually indicates where the road is going to go. And you can see there's people that are actually starting to build their houses already. And the plan for my house, like I said, I have super big plans. And I'm actually hoping to have my house pretty much, get out of the way, grass, pretty much completely done by the end of this first episode. But we are going to need a lot of materials for that. But anyway, let me just show you guys what we got going on here. So I kind of plotted out where each of the corners of the house are going to go. We're pretty much using the entire 2x2 chunk for this. And hey, how are you, dude? Right over here, we have just our basic little home thingy going on. We've got our bed, we've got a couple storage chests, our crafting tables, and our furnaces, and we were able to capture a couple chickens. We got them chilling right down in there. We got some bamboo. A lot of the guys in the community, guys and gals in the community, have been collecting up a bunch of resources, and there's a little area over there which is where our town hall is going to go, where there are community resources. So I've been able to get bamboo. I've been able to get wool for my bed, some sugar cane, and various other things like carrots and a couple other things. Yeah, so everybody on this server is really cool, really friendly, and I cannot wait to get started. So we got the bamboo going here. I made a little mine. I'm just trying to think of everything that we've done, because yesterday was the launch of the server, and there wasn't a lot you could really do because there was about 80 people for the launch of the server. At least when I tried to get on, I wasn't able to get on right when it started, but yeah, there was quite a few people, and the lag was just crazy. You could barely do anything. Once it started to die down, then you were able to start actually doing stuff on the server. Yeah, I built this little mine over here. We've got all the crops going right over here. Just some wheat and some pumpkins and some sugarcane going on right there. The little mine just kind of spirals down into the ground. I'm trying to make sure I don't make it too big to not infringe on other people's territory, because you're really supposed to stay within the confines of your own base. But anyway, Whew, that was quite the intro. But anyway, hopefully you guys are gonna enjoy this series. I am super stoked for it. But yeah, I think it's time to start explaining our starter house. We are now over by where the Nether portal is in Spawn Town, and this area right here is where I believe our community gardens and the town hall is within the confines of this red terracotta here. I think, is that concrete? I think it's concrete actually. But anyway, this is where the town hall is eventually going to go, and you can see there's a lot of community stuff set up over here already. We've got all of the animals. Obviously we're not supposed to kill all of them, but we got all the animals set up over here. We got community bamboo, we got community enchanting, community sugarcane, and of course our nether portal. I almost said end portal. Our nether portal. I believe that our stronghold is actually pretty close to this area as well for when we actually are going to go to the end. But I believe we're doing a community battle with the end dragon. Yeah, so I told you guys that it was time to explain what my starter base is going to look like, and some of you may even wonder after you see it if it's even considered a starter base, because I have a really awesome build that I want to do for my starter base, and it's going to require a lot of new 1.16 stuff. Hey friend, how are you? So we're gonna need to do some early exploration of the nether, and it's actually kind of terrifying because we're gonna need blackstone, we're gonna need crimson wood, we're gonna need nether warts, and we're gonna need a lot of nether brick because we're gonna need red nether brick as well. And we're also gonna need some soulfire, lanterns, chains. There's a bunch of stuff that's gonna go into this build, and of course stone bricks are kind of the base of the build as well, but I'm not too worried about that. We're probably gonna do a mining session at some point in this first episode just so that we can stock up on some resources. But anyway, let's pop into the nether because we're also gonna have a nether hub right here, and we have this fenced off to save us from any piglins that may come through. But let's pop in. It takes a little bit, a lot of people on the server. But here is our nether hub. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that's already built out. So we got we already have some portals like to our desert mining area, which I think we're gonna go do some mining. We've got, you know, each way has a bunch of different stuff. We have some people who have already started building bigger bases away from Spawn Town and have set up some of their portals out away. But we are actually here because we need to start collecting resources. I don't know exactly how much we're gonna need. I have my build kind of mapped out in a creative world right now. So I'm just gonna start collecting. We'll see what we can get. Hopefully we don't die. Thankfully we spawn right in a crimson forest, which is exactly what we need because we need those nether wart blocks. We actually have a bunch of data packs installed on this server here, and one of them actually lets you deconstruct some of the blocks that you wouldn't normally be able to deconstruct, or convert some blocks back into their original state. Like you can convert stairs back into their original state, and which is awesome for me, you can convert these nether wart blocks back into nether warts, which makes it super easy to get enough nether wart to be able to build the red nether bricks that we're going to need. But anyway, it's time to do some resource gathering in the nether, so I'll see you guys in a sec. Alrighty, so that was quite a successful resource gathering session in the nether. We found ourselves a bastion, we found a soul sand valley, we went through the crimson forest, almost got killed by a hoglin, and I didn't get any of it on film. Yeah, for whatever reason, I wanted to record a couple bits of it, but I will show you this picture right here, which was when I was trying to leave the bastion. Yeah, it was blocked. My only way out was blocked, and I almost sat there for like 30 minutes contemplating my life, and then eventually I got a spine and started shooting it with my bow. But yeah, a pretty successful resource gathering session in the nether. Here is our haul. So we got about 4 stacks of polished blackstone bricks, a bunch of nether wart blocks. That's probably, I hope that's as many as we will need. We got a bunch of netherrack as well, and we were able to make these red nether bricks. We got a couple pieces of gilded blackstone from the bastion that we found, and a few pieces of crying obsidian, which is awesome. Of course, a bunch of crimson planks. We need a bunch of these trapdoors for our build, and we found a bit of glowstone, some lanterns, some change, and we harvested a bunch of soul soil to get some soul torches. So we're gonna pop all this into the chest over here. And next up, I think what we're gonna do is, as I said before, we don't really have much of anything right now, so we're gonna go ahead and go mining, see if we can find some diamonds, see if we can enchant our diamond tools, maybe get some mending tools. I don't know if anybody has an XP farm yet, but that's okay. Somebody will eventually. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna head out to the community mining desert, I guess. We're either gonna do that, or we're gonna see if we can hop in another portal and get close to where our claimed area is, because I did set up a little bit of a mine over there, and we could probably pop over there and see what we got. Yeah, so let's get going. I have to show off this build real quick. Look at this thing. It's a siege tank. Where are my StarCraft 2 fans? Because this thing is epic. Wow. This thing's crazy cool. Over on the Nether Highway, and it looks like a couple people already have some portals set up. So we're gonna see if we can pop through this portal here and see how close it takes us to where our mega base is eventually going to be. It's probably gonna be a lot closer than if we were to just run there, obviously. So let's check out the chords. Looks like we're still about 1,000 blocks away. This is looking pretty cool. So I think that's about as good as we're gonna get, actually. So let's press on. Alrighty, we finally made it to the area that I hath claimed as my own. So if we pop down, you can see throughout this little area over here that we have all of these pillars set up with my name on them, and this is the site where we are going to be building our mega build, which is going to be later in the season. For now, of course, we're just chilling out in Spawn Town, but I wanted to come out here to do some mining because they really don't want you mining under Spawn Town, because you're technically going into other people's chunks, and that's you're not supposed to be doing that. You gotta respect each other on these kind of servers. But anyway, let me show you guys around a little bit. I was hoping for a desert. And if we can get ourselves a desert, then hopefully, then we can do that, and yeah, then we don't have to worry about sanding this entire biome down. I don't want to have to replace this with a bunch of sand because my build requires a lot of sand. So the plan from here is to link up a nether portal to this area to make it really easy to go back and forth, because it took me maybe like half an hour or so to get out here from Spawn Town. But for that, we're gonna need a lot more obsidian. We only got 6 obsidian right now, so we're gonna have to do some mining. And as you can see behind me, I have already set up this staircase which leads down to a mine that I've already started doing a little bit of mining in. But we're gonna go down there for about an hour. We're gonna do a 1-hour mining session with the time lapse. It's gonna be fantastic. And hopefully we can get our hands on some diamonds and a bunch of other resources. So let's go ahead and get going. Roll that music. Not a bad haul at all. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. But anyway, here is everything that we got from that 1-hour mining session. We got over a stack of iron, 14 gold, 15 plus the 6 diamonds that we used to make our tool, so 21 diamonds, and it looks about 5 stacks of redstone and a bunch of cobble. And we also got the obsidian that we're going to need to build our nether portals. And I think what we're going to do is we are actually going to set up the nether portal right here, and then we're going to pop back over to the spawn town, and we're going to see if we can link up a nether portal from the Nether Hub that we can get through to the portal in Spawn Town to the portal out here so that we can quickly travel back and forth between this area and the Spawn Town. So I have 6 more obsidian back at my base, so that should be enough to make 2 portals, one here and then for the one in the Nether. So once we get this flint and steel, we should be good to go to build that portal. So I think that's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna head on back to Spawn Town. And next up, I think we're gonna see if we can make some progress on our Spawn Town house. Okay, so this should hopefully lead out to my base. Fingers crossed. Leg. Come on.
Yeah! Yes!
We just stopped over at the community enchanting table, and for 2 levels and 2 lapis, we got Efficiency 2, Silk Touch, and Unbreaking 2 on the very first enchant of this server. That's crazy. We are now back at the at Spawn Town on my plot, and we have successfully moved everything over from our mining session into our future Spawn Town house, plot, place, area, thing. I don't know why I'm talking like this. But anyway, it is now time to get started on our starter house, or whatever you guys want to call it. I don't even know if it qualifies as a starter house. It's going to end up being pretty big. But anyway, it's time to get started on it. And we are in dire need of netherrack. We're smelting up a bunch of smooth stone right now because we will need stone bricks. I do have a bunch of stacks of stone bricks right now, but we do need a lot more. And the number one thing that we will need a lot more of is polished black stone as well. But first off, we are going to need a lot more red nether brick, which means we're going to need a lot of netherrack. So we're going to pop over to the nether and see what we can come up with, and then we'll get to building. What a crazy build. We are finally done. Wow, this took us like, I want to say 5-6 hours, but it was so worth it. Check this thing out. So for this, I dubbed it, it's like a dark desert temple sort of thing. So the inspiration that I used from this was like an Arabian desert palace that was built with those spires that are kind of, like picture the spires from like the Aladdin Palace in Agrabah, which we're going to be building later in the season, by the way. So make sure you guys stay tuned. That's going to be our mega base. But yeah, so I tried to make the spires as bulbous as I possibly could. But with the 2x2 chunk space I had, I really couldn't do that much bulbosity to them. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, so let's take a look at this thing. We used a lot of the new 1.16 blocks. We used a lot of black stone. We used the crimson trapdoors, and yeah. We also have some blue fire lanterns also hanging, or soul fire lanterns, whatever you guys want to call them. We set up a little mailbox for ourselves here in case anybody wants to leave us any messages or anything. Let's take a look inside. Inside's not that interesting right now. So eventually I'm going to have ladders that lead up to the top over here in each of these corners. And in the center over here, we're going to have a spiral staircase that leads up into the spire up there. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in the central spire up here, and also down into the ground underneath. And underneath is where we're going to be putting all of our storage and everything else that we're going to be using to get us started with the season. Right now, I just kind of got the inside cluttered over here. I think in these little plots here, we're going to have crops growing. We're going to move all this storage underneath, and everything over here is also going to be moved underneath as well. And we will eventually build a chicken farm as well. Right now, we've just got our little KFC hole going on over here. But anyway, guys, that is all the time I have for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to this season. I've been super excited for it for the last month or so. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for future episodes as well. We're going to be doing a lot of awesome stuff on the server, and hopefully doing some community projects and some work with other folks that are on the server as well. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to hit that thumbs up. And if you're looking forward to this season as much as I am, hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. And I'll see you guys again. Bye-bye. Arabian Nights, like Arabian days, more often than not, are hotter than hot in a lot of good ways. Arabian Nights, like Arabian moons. A fool off his guard could fall and fall hard out there on the dune. Combination hookah and coffee maker also makes julienne fries.